division now. In year 4, the children use the formal method of division, which they've already been introduced to in year 3. The difference in year 4 being is that we will now be working with remainders. So if I just show you an example of that and what that might look like. So let's go with something like a 735 as our dividend, and a divisor can be 3. And the children draw a bus stop, as they like to call it. And the dividend is waiting inside the bus stop. And the divisor is the bus driver coming to collect it. So it's important when we're thinking about the written methods of division that we are thinking about division in a way that recognises we are looking at the number of groups of 3 we can fit into 735. So if I was going to break that into groups of 3, how many groups of 3 would I be able to make from it? How many groups of 3 can I fit into 735? Of course, we also want our children to recognise that 735 shared into 3 groups is equivalent, is the same. But for the written method, the understanding behind the written method and why it works, we are thinking about how many 3s fit into 735. So let's start then. We're starting on the left this time and moving to the right, which of course is different to addition, subtraction and multiplication, so conversations to be had there. But by now the children are familiar with that from year 3. We're looking at how many 3s can fit into 7. So I've worked up in my 3 times table. 3, 6, I can't fit 9 in because it's greater than 7, so I'm stopping there. I could fit 2 lots of 3 in. If I started with 7 and I've only got up to 6, I have a remainder of 1, which is carried over into my next column. Of course, we're working with this as a 7-digit, but there's a conversation to be had there again about it's a 7-digit, but actually that's representing 700. It's not useful for us to think of it as 700 in this method, but it is vital that the children understand that it's a 700 and not representing 7 ones. But by now, their place value knowledge should be secure enough that that's a quick conversation to be had. If we're struggling to work out remainders, which children might do at first, I find it best just to draw it. So if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm making groups of 3, finding out how many groups of 3 can fit into that number. There's 1 group of 3, there's 2 groups of 3, and I have 1 left over. It's remaining, so it's my remainder. That's the 1 that's being carried over there. I can then come back to my divisor. I'm now looking at how many 3s will go into 13. So I've got 3, 6, 9, 12. I can't go any further, so that's 4 lots of 3. I was working with 13, I've only used 12, again a remainder of 1. And again, you could draw that out if you wanted to visually show why that remainder is remaining. So that remainder of 1 again is going to be carried over to my next column. I'm now looking at how many 3s will fit into 15. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I can get 5 lots. You may end up, let's say, if we were actually to change that 5 on the end, you may end up with a remainder at the end as well. Let's say that we were actually doing 730. Oh. 7. Oh, sorry. Doesn't go there, does it? If we were actually doing 737, the calculation would change slightly at the end there. So we've done all this work, we've got to this stage where the 1's come over to the 7. How many 3s fit into 17? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 5 groups. And 17 is 2 more, so we have 2 remaining. In this instance, the children record their remainder up here as R for remainder, and then 2 because there was 2 left over. There's no other column for them to carry it over to.